Hello and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Origins. In this episode I'll be covering Eevee, Vaporeon, Jolteon and Flareon, so we'll get started. So let's kickstart us off with Eevee. Its Japanese name is Eevee. It is the evolution Pokemon, it is number 133, and it is 0.3 meters tall or 1 foot, and weighs 6.5 kilograms or 14.3 pounds. Now, as many of you will know, Eevee is very well known for being the Pokemon with the most possible evolutions. It currently has 8 at the time of making this video, which are Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon, Espeon, Umbreon, Glaceon, Leafeon, and the new one for Generation 6, Sylveon. Eevee is a small mammal with brown fur. It has a bushy tail that has a cream tip, and a furry collar of the same colour as the tip of its tail. It has 4 short cat-like legs, and brown eyes with long pointed ears. Eevee may have been inspired by many different animals, for example the fennec fox, dogs, cats, and it may have also been inspired by Japanese folklore from a creature called Tanuki, which is said to be able to transform into different creatures. It's also the alternative name for the Japanese raccoon dog. Eevee may also be based on the concept of dog breeding, as variation occurs from that. And also maybe based on a fox's ability to adapt to different environments. For example, we have a desert fox and an arctic fox, much like Jolteon, Vaporeon, Flareon, etc. There are no differences between Eevee models, so nothing to worry about there. And Eevee's shiny form is a kind of a grey pale blue colour, so a bit different from its normal brownish. And almost all of its Pokédex entries talk about its unstable genetic makeup, which is why it can transform into so many different Pokemon. Some also say it changes to suit the environment, but some also do say that they evolve through radiation from evolution stones, bearing in mind that was back in Generation 1 where there were only 3 evolutions. Now, both of its names, Eevee and Eevee, are based on the 2 letters E and V, as read out Eevee, or in Japanese Eevee. And these 2 letters come from the first 2 letters of evolution, again linking to how Eevee can evolve into many different Pokemon, so that's where their names come from. If we move now to look at Vaporeon, we can see its Japanese name is Shawazu, or Showers. It is the Bubble Jet Pokemon, it is number 134, it is 1 meter tall or 3 feet 3 inches, and weighs 29 kilograms or 63.9 pounds. Vaporeon evolves from an Eevee when it's exposed to a water stone, hence why it is a water type. Vaporeon's design is a composite creature sharing traits of fish, dolphins, cats, dogs, and many different other things as well, so, you know, it has light blue skin with a white ruff behind its head and blue ridges down its back. Its tail is similar to that of a mermaid's. Now, we can tell by Pokédex entries that its molecular structure is similar to that of water, and because of this it can melt and disappear into water, making it a very good battle technique. Now, as mentioned just now, Vaporeon may have been inspired by dolphins, dogs and cats, as it has, you know, water, kind of more like scales than skin really, and obviously the form of a dog cat. This design may hint that Vaporeon is kind of a visual pun on a catfish, because there's a cat and a fish, whereas a catfish in real life is just kind of not like a cat at all. So its fins and dorsal lining may be based off of tropical fish as well, and its ears seem to be a mix of fish's fin and a fennec fox ear like Eevee. They may also be based off of mermaids due to the tail and such, or the Telchines of Greek mythology, or the Merlion, which is a national symbol of Singapore. And finally, they may also be based off of primitive whales, like Kutachisus. Now, like Eevee, it has no gender differences, and its shiny form is kind of purple coloured instead of blue, which is a really nice change to be fair. And Pokédex entries tell us that when its fins vibrate, it means it's going to rain soon, so, you know, kind of a very water-linked Pokemon here. Now if we go on to look at the names, Shawazu is literally showers as in rain showers, so yeah, that's a pretty simple one there. And Vaporeon is a mix of vapor, which is kind of gas, water, kind of like steam, I think, and Eon, which means a long time, and which is the suffix of all the evolutions, as we will see as we look through them all. Now if we want to look at our second evolution, Jolteon, we can see its Japanese name is Sandas, or Thunders. It is the lightning Pokemon, it is Pokédex number 135, it is 0.8 meters tall or 2 feet 7 inches, and weighs 24.5 kilograms or 54 pounds. An Eevee will evolve into a Jolteon when it is exposed to a Thunderstone, hence why Jolteon is an electric type. Now, Jolteon's design, much like Vaporeon, is based on several different things, but mostly dog, to be fair, with Jolteon. But may also be cheetah and kind of like fox as well. It has a short tail with a fringe of spikes towards its rear end. It has large ears that have black insides, kind of like electric or yellow and black sort of. It has a yellow fur and it's got kind of a white, like spiky collar, and its eyes are pretty much like a fox's. Now, Jolteon may have been inspired by a herding dog or a fennec fox or coyotes, but may also be a cheetah, since the kind of body style is the same. The spiky hair on its body may also be inspired by a porcupine. It may also be inspired by Raiju from Japanese mythology, who is a beast whose body is made of thunder and can take the form of a cat, so very similar to Jolteon. Looking again at gender differences, we see there are none. Jolteon's shiny form is actually green instead of yellow, which is interesting, but kind of cool. And Pokédex entries tell us that its cells produce a low level of electricity, and this stored electricity can be used to shoot its fur at opponents, much like the porcupine, which is where the inspiration may come from. Now if we go on to look at the names, we can see that Sandas, or Thunders, is literally thunders, so it's the present tense of the verb to thunder. And Jolteon is a mix of jolt, being kind of electric jolt or shock, and eon, again meaning a long time, and which is the suffix used for all evolutions. And if we now move on to see our last evolution for this episode, Flareon, we can say its Japanese name is Booster or Booster. It is the flame Pokemon, it is number 136, it is 0.9 meters tall or 2 feet 11 inches, and weighs 25 kilograms or 55.1 pounds. An Eevee will evolve into a Flareon when it is exposed to a Firestone, hence why Flareon is a fire-type Pokemon. Now, its design is the most similar to Eevee's out of all of the other evolutions, with a bushy tail and a fluffy collar. It also has a tuft of fur on its head and rabbit-like ears, and through Pokédex entries we are told it has a very high body temperature at more than 3000 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, the inspiration for Flareon may have come from foxes or cats, and its kind of fluffy collar may have come from a Pomeranian dog or a lion's mane. That's really all we have for the inspiration of Flareon. There's no kind of mythology behind it, to be fair. Once again, like the previous 3 Pokemon, there are no gender differences between Flareon. Its shiny form is kind of more of an orange brownie than red. It's a bit more dull, to be fair, but it looks alright still. Its Pokédex entries, all of them, every single one, speak about the temperature of its flame or its body heat. Its body can go up to be more than 1650 degrees Fahrenheit, and its internal flame pouch can be more than 3000 degrees Fahrenheit, so it is a pretty hot Pokemon. Now if we look at its names, we have Booster, which is just rocket boosters, so which propel things by combusting or burning fuels, hence the fire Pokemon really. And then we have Flareon, which is flare, which is a fire related kind of thing, and eon, again meaning a long time, or just, the suffix for all of the evolutions. And now, just to finish this episode off, we shall look at some height comparisons. So you can see my general height is taller than all of these evolutions, and there's a not a big variety of heights, but a fair bit,